All right, we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Old Reader New Reader, and
Hello.
welcome back, Alex. AKA
Hello,
Captain
hello.
Plankton.
Always happy to be on a show discussing a different Naoki Urasawa property. They're all
Eventually, I'll
good.
I'll have you on here not talking about that, but we could just always talk about Naoki Urasawa. Always,
hmm I'm always down.
I think that's lovely.
They've all been great.
Exactly. And honestly, Pluto's not like it's not. It's a long read, but it's not as long as some others.
Yeah, so Pluto, I was expecting to, because I don't know, like the other Urasawa stuff, it's I took like a month or so to get through
Yeah,
all of it. Like, the monsters and
yeah,
20th Century Boys, those are both like pretty long.
yeah,
Pluto I got through in like 4 days.
yeah.
It
I
was
I
and it
read
was
it.
like
I read it today.
it's a blast. Like
Yeah.
you just fly through that stuff too. It's so interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, and yeah, it's getting an anime soon, which is very exciting for any Naoki
So good.
Urasawa fan.
We were talking about this before we went live, but like it already looks so good just from like that little teaser they
Yeah,
put out. And like I say little teaser, it was like they gave us like 4 minutes of footage. No sound to anything, but like
yeah,
the stuff that they showed just looks incredible. There's gonna be a lot more shown in action from what we can already tell,
yeah.
which I think is really cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because like in this, I guess we should talk about what it's about, really.
Sure, yeah.
And we will get into spoilers. But this is an interesting one. Basically, it's like a mystery of a serial killer, but a serial killer that is killing the most advanced robots in the world, of which there are seven.
and
And there
and
is thing.
also the
Sorry, go ahead.
the scientists that created them.
And also scientists that create them. And also this ties into oh my gosh, why is the name gone? Adam. What's the what's the name of the actual thing it is?
Which the original, the Astro Boy,
Yeah,
or
Astro Boy. Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
god.
or
Wow.
what's the actual like Japanese name? It's like
Oh,
great Adam, powerful Adam,
yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
So it's connected to Astro Boy. So Osamu
Mighty
Tezuka
Adam.
was also part of this as well, and they do have Adam in this as well. So you do see that, which is really cool. Like it's a very cool tie-in, especially to see Adam be Adam, but also
hmm
deal with a very like heavy story. This deals with a lot of like talk about AI. What is it to be human? What is it to be sentient? What are the robot rights? And you really get a distinct look into each of these like robots and trying to this a typical Naoki Urasawa mystery. You're never going to really know what's happening till the end, and it's always going to be a more human story, a more like involved thing, and devastating. Always devastating.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get there when we get there, but like,
Yeah,
yeah, I knew that certain character deaths were coming, and it like even bracing yourself, it just feels
yeah.
terrible. But
Well, and I
I like
forgot,
that. So
which is lovely. I've read this all before, and I loved it. And I'm very thankful for how weird my brain is because it means I can forget enough to truly experience a story again. And I got to. So even though I'm the old reader technically, it did not feel like it because I was just like, oh, really?
that's always the best, because like I don't know, like certain things, like you can only experience a thing for the first time once, but like you
Yeah.
get far enough away from it that you can kind of get there again. It's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
It's a good feeling.
So I guess we can start off at the beginning. There's a lot here. But when we start off, we learn of the death of Mont Blanc, which is this very like big kind of like is this big robot in Switzerland who like lives in the forest, very like sweet type of guy. I don't own the physical copy, so I can't show this. Um, but very much like a hero of the people is what he seemed like. So like a um Iron Giant type of deal. Like that's kind of feelings
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would get from
I
like Mont
agree. I
Blanc.
agree.
And we've heard he's been destroyed. And what's been left is his head, but with antlers next to it. So like the killer's calling card. I don't know if Hannibal got that inspiration from Pluto, but that's what I'm.
Yeah, that was the
That's
thing in
my
the TV show,
imagination.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's not the inspiration, but I'm just gonna say it is for
could be.
it's my headcanon.
I can believe it.
And so they've asked, I'm assuming I'm saying I took German for a year. Gesicht. Ges-
I
Gesicht.
I was reading it as like
Gesicht.
Gesicht, but
Is it
I
Gesicht?
I don't know. We'll find out when we get to
No,
the
it's just so
adaptation. So
so Gesicht. Who's this? He's this detective that's been asked to look into this. And it's great because when we're first introduced to him, we're to see him talk to his wife, and he's like, we should really take like a vacation sometime. Like we should really go out. It's a very human experience. He looks very human. His wife looks very human. And as we go through, he has to fight off this guy who's trying to attack him because he's in this like situation here, and the guy like hits him with like a crowbar. And I was like, oh, he must just have like a robot leg. I forgot. I've read this. I forgot. And he's like, oh, I'm a robot. I was like, oh shit. Oh man, that's crazy.
which I was also really glad that they like got that out of the way right up front, and they weren't
Yeah.
like, this is the big reveal, because like I don't know, we've
Yeah.
seen Blade Runner.
Yeah, we're not surprised. You know? But it's cool because you see he's set already like it sets you off so well, right? Because now we see robots are much more complex in this world than what because the first robot we see is this big old guy, this big old definitely robot man. And then we see Gesicht, who's very like just a dot, just a dude.
Which I think is so that's like one of the changes that I really really liked between, because I went back and read the Astro Boy chapters that this was
Yeah.
based off of, and it's very silly, it's very goofy. It like, things that are robots just look like robots. They look like, weird superheroes. But in this one, like almost all of them just look like regular humans,
Yeah.
and it makes them a lot more relatable, because that's absolutely the experiences that they have.
Yeah. So how do you feel like so you went into this, I guess we can talk about your like first impressions and then we'll go into like each one because I think we'll have to spend a lot of time with like specific robots too and then the overall because I'm dying to talk about North number 2.
Yeah, that
Um
that one took me like way off guard. That one felt a lot like character interactions that we would have gotten in like Monster.
oh yeah.
But like I like just overall um moving, but you know, like not in the ways that I usually expect out of Urasawa stuff.
Mhm.
Um Everything just felt very like grounded. It's
Yeah.
strange because this is such a like weird high concept sci-fi story, but like it's so like street level.
Yeah.
It's great. Like if you even have like a little bit of time, like this is just something that I recommend, just read it over the weekend.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because so the robots that we're focusing on, the 7 most advanced robots, are also the ones that brought about this big peace. So there was this big robot war between one country and another country, and they're the ones that inevitably brought about peace. And it's like having old war buddies. So they have this like camaraderie between them, even though they're all so different. And we don't get to see all of them interact. Montblanc's already dead by the beginning, and then we get North number 2. So this is when we get the sense like, oh, there's more to this than what we're seeing. And I definitely want to talk about North number 2's story because it oh god, it's so good. It's so good. So North number 2, he's just like he's just basically just weapons. His whole body is just weapons, but he wears like a cloak. He's very soft spoken, and he is brought on to be a butler of this blind composer.
Yeah, but butler slash bodyguard.
Yeah,
The butler cannot stand robots because robots can't create.
yeah. So the whole time, like the composer's like, "What is the point of you?" He's like, "Well, I hear you singing. You play this music. This is just for me. This song is just for me." He's like, "Well, I hear you in your sleep, and you finish this song." And I think this would fit. And he tries to play with the piano. He's like, "No, go away." And so this whole back and forth until eventually he does open up about where he comes from in his home country and where he was. And he goes all the way to his home country and talks to people who develop folk songs and finds that song so he can play it for them. To the point where they develop like a real true friendship and relationship. And then he's murdered.
It's
And
so it
oh
sucks. It
god.
sucks so bad.
Oh god.
But that, and like as soon as he's introduced, I'm like, I mean, he's gonna die.
Oh
And then
yeah.
like you just get so attached anyway.
Oh, absolutely. It just sets the whole thing because it's like, okay, we hear Bob Block, we hear about him, we hear about his accolades, and we've met Gesicht, and then we see North Number Two, and we see like it's a telltale. It's a story we've read before and we've seen before and things, but this like I was made for battle, but I just want to make music. I want to make something beautiful, and I'm still haunted because even describes to him like I see my AI constantly plays those scenes where I am just destroying robots. I
And
am
like
more than what you think I am.
everybody has such severe PTSD,
Oh my
and
god.
like it's like one of the scenes that Hercules is talking about when he sees a robot that's like trying to like wash his hands just like for like an entire day to get the blood off, and it's like it's so heartbreaking.
It's rough. Oh, hey, no, I haven't watched it yet, so you'll have to. I will be watching on my own time after this. I'm busy. Busy reading Pluto.
All day.
So then we also have Mr. Brando, and yeah, as you said, Hercules. Although I think the translation I've read said Heracles, so I'm not sure what it is in the books.
Yeah, I mean, it's the
Hercules
same
makes
character,
sense.
right? Like,
I
so
think so. So
well,
Hercules.
wait, so
It's
he's
Hercules.
because he's supposed to be Greek, right? He's not Roman, so it should have been Heracles.
Yeah, 'cause they title him in the book as like the god of war,
Yeah.
Heracles. So Mr. Brando, who's like a fighting robot from Turkey, who also is there, and then Heracles, our next like they're about to have a big bout, but we get to meet Mr. Brando first, and he just has a big old family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, him and his wife have just adopted like 10 human kids that are all
And
just being rowdy at dinner.
so sweet because he's like, "This is the life I've made for myself. I've carved this out for myself, and yeah, I'm a fighter, and I bring honor to my country, but I take care of my family first and foremost." I'm like, "Oh man, it's gonna be a bummer when he dies."
Yep.
Because he's like, I'll fight this guy. Because at this point, Gasik knows, like, okay, they're coming after us, and we don't even know Gasik is part of that originally. We just kind of like luck into it as he talks about it, and we're
Yeah,
like,
like
oh
they
shit,
they
you know all these
introduce him as
people.
just like he's just an Interpol detective. He's just a really good detective, good at
Yeah, just a
detective
guy,
stuff.
and yeah, because he doesn't seem like much. Because you see these other big guys, right? And they're big robot guys.
Hmm.
They do these big things. Like this is just a guy. He's
Or
just
they're
a
they're
dude.
just like made out of weapons, and then you just see like guy in a suit.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, well, he was part of it too. Okay, interesting. And then of course we also have Adam, aka Astro Boy,
Hmm.
in the flesh, and his sister Uran, which I assume is short for uranium.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that makes more sense. I was thinking that it might have been like a some kind of relation to Uranus if they had like
Oh, that
other
makes
planet
sense.
stuff
There's
going on, but
Pluto and
like
stuff like yeah.
yeah, it could be both.
I don't know if she was in Astro Boy at all.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. She's around.
okay.
Yeah. So like, cause I mean, I didn't go back and read anything other than what this
Oh yeah,
arc
I
was
definitely
based
want to
off
hear
of.
about that too because I never read.
I mean, there's not really too much to talk about. It's like the same stuff happens, but
Yeah,
within like 180 pages. So
yeah,
nobody's really fleshed out.
okay,
And like it's just like silly plot reveals that just resolve everything, the next page after it comes up as a
yeah.
problem.
Then our
It's
last our
fine, it's
last one is
goofy.
Epsilon, who's the pacifist who looks like Johan from Monster. Now
Exactly.
Kurosawa does have a case of same face syndrome in his
Hmm.
artwork, but that's okay. We forgive him, and he's like a pacifist that raises orphans from war. Very cool. So that's our crew that we're trying to that Gasik is trying to protect. Man, there's so much to this. I don't even know what to talk about because this is so good. And it's so profound, and there's so much happening here, and there's so much set up because you
Yeah,
spend so much time just getting to know everybody first.
and it's not the same level of like back and forth that you get with like 20th Century Boys, but like
Yeah,
you jump around between all these different characters' viewpoints at different points in time. Like they'll go back and forth between the present and the war, and then if they have like other relevant flashbacks in
yeah,
between, there's a lot to each character, but like I don't know, like it's still everything is presented in a way where you reach conclusions exactly when you're supposed to.
Yeah.
But
Surprisingly.
the I keep forgetting what I have it like right there, and then
That's
it's gone.
fine.
Um,
We're hanging
this
out.
is gonna kill me. No, it's gone. It'll come
That's
back.
fine.
It's
That's
fine.
fine. We'll jump
We'll
into
have
it.
more. Oh, I got it. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, so part of what makes the mystery so like bizarre to all the investigators up front is, in addition to the robots that are being killed, there's also the human scientists that are being killed with the same MO.
Yeah.
And robots cannot kill humans. There's like one recorded case of that happening, and that whole thing is like really messed up, because like there's just this like creepy decrepit robot that's just like pinned to a wall with a huge like spear, and just dispenses like Hannibal Lecter knowledge, and
Yeah.
is just like I that's one of the things that I cannot wait to see how they do in the anime.
I love that guy. I didn't write down his name, but the
uh
fact, because like Gasik
brow
decides
brow and
to
then some numbers.
approach him for advice the same way, yeah, people do in any sort of like serial killer movie where they're searching for something and they're like, well, let me ask a serial killer for advice.
Hmm.
And so he'll go to this robot and be like, I know, like, you murdered people before. And this guy's very like, huh, like it's like he knows more than he's telling you. Like he knows immediately what your whole deal is. And what's so great about this, and it's kind of jumping ahead a little bit, because I loved this, because with the robot that killed a human before, they did not find any defects with him. They didn't
Hmm.
find any errors. There wasn't a virus. There wasn't anything.
So
There
good.
wasn't anything in his programming that made him kill. And there's a great line from Astro, or from Adam, I mean, where I forget who he was talking to. I think it's just another scientist. I think, oh, Dr. Tenma, not to be
Yeah,
confused with
yeah,
Dr. Tenma
yeah.
from Monster.
Right. Yep.
He says, I wrote this down because I like the line so much. A perfection that kills people. What does that mean? Is that what we call a human?
Hmm.
And I thought it was beautiful, because
It's
they
perfect.
basically alluded to in this book that as these different robots that have AI that are experiencing life, they are experiencing emotions, they are becoming closer to human. And as they do, they reach this level of perfection of being human, and they no longer need the programming and everything else. So they're able to do things that their programming otherwise would not allow for.
And I really like that that's something that has to be, developed in
Yeah.
each robot over time, because they discuss, at several points that if you make a perfect AI, the robot will just not be able to activate because it's experiencing too much too quickly.
Yeah.
So, all of these perfect robots that have come to be just had to learn their way up there as they're living their lives.
Right. Like an AI can't be born, it has to be nurtured, it has to be raised, it has to experience like hatred and and they talk a lot about hatred.
Hmm.
They're like, it has to experience extreme hatred or despair to develop these feelings, develop like appreciation for things, which is interesting because like I feel like at the end, uh, I'm jumping ahead again. I think there's more than just hatred that exists and what gives them their like purpose, especially with Adam. Because I feel
Yeah,
like there's more. They assume hatred's what's needed, but I think there's more to it than that.
because like so when I mean how deep in the spoilers are we going
Oh, we
here?
spoil on this show. We're
Okay,
fine.
so well, moral of the story. So, obviously all of these robots are being killed.
Yeah.
Gesicht is one of the robots. He gets killed. Um, Previous to
Bummer.
that happening, Adam is also killed. They need to bring him back with, missing parts of his brain.
Yeah.
So they do that using Gesicht's brain, and they're like, "Oh man, but the extreme emotions that he's feeling at the time of death, almost certainly hatred. So he's gonna come back being a scary war machine." But we already know from the scene of Gesicht dying, which is just heartbreaking and miserable. That he's just thinking of his wife,
Yeah, I just
just
loved
how much he
ones.
loves her.
His wife and his child, like there's hatred in his heart, but not in the same way. There's like real love. And it's beautiful. It sounds so cheesy because it's like it sounds like a simplified version of what's happening because it's so intense of everything that's happening. But it really is what when you get to the bottom of it. There's more than the hatred. There's like love and there's despair and there's like guilt. There's everything that's happening with these robots.
Yeah, and like I just even, towards Pluto, who they've found out
Yeah.
is the responsible party for all the killings. Like he just feels bad for him. Like he knows at that point everything that he's gone up to, which I guess we should probably discuss because
Yeah, let's
that
go.
entire backstory is just so like I like you cannot help but like feel bad and like see exactly where every character has been up to this point
Oh
that's led
yeah.
them to do just terrible things.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a lot of steps in the between too, because then you have like I guess before we should talk about that, we should talk about I guess more of Gesicht's like backstory as well as like his involvement with Adolf too. Because Gesicht keeps getting these flashes and he's like, I'm missing something. There's like
Yeah,
memories he
which
doesn't
is set up
remember.
really really well because they go to plan their vacation, and then the lady at the travel agency is like, oh yeah, we've already got these existing profiles for you from the last vacation that you took. And Gessick's like, I didn't take any
Yeah, he's
vacations.
like, he's like, we want to go to Japan. She's like, yeah, you registered to go to Japan and you didn't go 3 years ago. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm a robot of perfect memory. Why would I have this deleted in my brain? He even talked to his wife. His wife doesn't remember.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, but we didn't go to Japan. We went to like France or Belgium or
Yeah.
somewhere in Europe.
And they had all these pictures, like way
Hmm.
too. They're like, wait a second,
Yeah,
this
they're
is
like,
too
we
many
don't take this
pictures.
many vacation pictures.
Yeah, we're robots. We don't do anything unnecessary. Like we would have not have taken this many. So it's been supplemented like memories and photos
It's
from
like
that
it's just
time.
such a good hook to get you like, what's missing, what
Yeah.
actually happened here.
And so the whole time I'm like, okay, what is happening? Is he this perfect AI? Is he connected to Pluto? Because they keep alluding to how he and Pluto are not that different. That he and the killer are not that different. I was like, well, he didn't kill them because he's not there. So that's not possible. But he's definitely done something. And then we get this side story of a man named Adolf. Unfortunate name given the circumstances of what he's involved in.
Yeah,
But
they were like, we've got a human supremacist here that's just coincidentally named Adolf.
yeah, he's
They're
in
in
like the
Germany. Don't worry about
anti-robot
it.
KKK. And I say
Yeah,
KKK because they have hoods and everything.
yeah. Like the aesthetics are just bar for bar KKK.
Yeah, so he's very anti-robot, and because his brother was killed by a robot, and he looks at like he finally gets access to his body, and he's been ground up, which is only possible by a specific robot weapon. So eventually, he realizes it's through process of elimination. Gesicht is the only one possible who could possibly do that,
Who
and
could
so
have
he's
been
like,
there at the same time? And
"I'm gonna get that guy. He killed my brother." Because he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Because all the time he's like, "Did you feel this way when you killed my brother?" He's like, "What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember that." And then finally it clicked. He's like, "Oh shit!
I
Oh
did do
no!"
that.
And oh, it's just so devastating because he's like, he talks to our serial killer robot. He's like, "You knew?" It's like, "Yeah, I knew."
Yeah, I knew because you're just like me,
Yeah. He's like, "I'm not."
and yet Brow is the one that's pinned to the wall forever with a big spear, while
Yeah,
Gessix
all
is
of
still
this was
just
hidden,
walking around solving crimes.
and having him come to I guess like dealing with that trauma and that memory is so beautiful.
And then
Oh,
just
Jack Fairy, that's an unfair question, but thanks for
I
super chat.
so I don't think so, but also like Monster is like 3 times as long, so I don't. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't know.
I think Monster will always be my number one when it
Yeah,
comes to Urasawa.
like Monster is like basically perfect, in
Yeah.
presentation, and Pluto is, it like one, it's an adaptation of an existing property that he elevated to no end, but
Yeah.
it's still just like he just. I was gonna say slapped a new coat of paint on it, but it's way more involved than that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even think I would know. Yeah, I think Monster's my favorite. It'd be hard to rank them. I'd be more likely to say 20th Century Boys is my second. But I don't know because I really like Pluto.
But that's, it's the same kind of thing. Like you just get to spend so much more time with these characters and get involved in
Yeah.
this world for that much longer.
I think maybe the anime could change that. I don't know. I think Monster's will be my favorite, but
It could. I mean,
it could change the
like
ranking.
Monster has also like a near perfect anime adaptation,
Right.
but
The
this could
music.
be, just as good.
Yeah, I think, and any one of Naoki Urasawa's properties I think are perfect for like anime or for like TV.
Hmm.
I would love any of these as a TV series. Like if this was on HBO or like
Oh
Amazon
yeah.
Prime or something, it would be phenomenal because like you have the mystery there, you have the different otherworldly things, and then you have a character like Adam that is kind of recognizable. Be
Yeah,
perfect.
but so like that redesign I think was like probably one of the best because Astro Boy is just a boy flying around in his underwear, but uh like most of the time you see Adam, he's just in like a big yellow raincoat, which is like, I don't know, like to me that's just like the image of just like a child to
Oh
me,
yeah.
like that you can't make a child look more childlike than being in a big yellow raincoat.
No. Well, I love when Gesicht meets Adam in Japan because he meets him and he's already like struck, but that Adam is just doing normal human things. Like he's not like
Yeah,
other robots that like because we hear from Gesicht before this, like robots, you can tell if someone's a robot because they don't do any unnecessary movements.
right.
And yet Adam, he sees him like picking up a snail, like putting him away and like pretending to enjoy food and just like acting like a kid. And he's like, I don't understand that.
And like and they kind of discuss that with like a few other characters. Well, actually it might just be the one other character that they're like, I can't tell if you're human or not. my
Yeah.
sensors my sensors can always pick this up, and I just can't tell.
Yeah. Oh yeah, with see I didn't write down his name.
As the doctor,
The bad guy.
Dr. Abdullah.
Yeah.
Could have picked a better name.
You know.
It's okay. I that's another one of those ones that's just carried over from the Astro Boy stuff. So it's from 1971. It's like
Yeah.
50 years old.
What I love is Sister Uran. I love that her whole thing as a
Yes,
robot is not the big superpowers that Adam has, but the ability to like knows
just
everyone's
yeah,
emotions.
extreme empathy.
Yeah, which is not something I would expect in a robot because she can sense it from like miles away. And she's like, oh, it's like a psychic ability. She's like, there are two beings that are very, very sad. And she just keeps helping people until she can get closer. And even like really empathize with Pluto early on in a really beautiful
Hmm.
way. My girl, I love her. So good.
And that was just a great scene. Just
Yeah.
before like the big reveal of even I don't even think that who the killer is supposed to be set up to be at that point. It's the name of the
Mm-mm.
manga, but like whatever. But she's just hanging out with this guy in the park who's just like doing huge murals on the wall, and just wants to talk about flowers forever.
Yeah.
And then he just like snaps because the bad psyche has come back.
It's really sad. Because, yeah, can you see try to paint flowers in like an abstract way? And she's like, that's weird. Robots can't paint abstract art, so you must be like broken. He's like, this is what I see. And then he can also grow flowers as well.
Hmm.
So he has like a unique ability to like bring kind of like plant life back to life. But then he sees Adam and his program is like, whoa, I'm supposed to kill this guy.
I'm supposed
And
to
he gets
kill that
pissed.
guy.
And so we don't know much about him, but I guess we can get back to his backstory. That one's harder to explain. That's like Kingdom Hearts level hard to
It's a
explain, I
lot.
feel
Yeah,
like.
there's a lot going on back and
Yeah.
forth there. Same with Dr. Abula, but they're like
Yeah.
the villains are just so well set up. Because it's they're from the country that was invaded during this big robot war,
Yeah.
which there's just an incredible amount of parallels between all of the war scenes that you see and hear about and the US invasion of Iraq in 2003, which is absolutely wild because they were happening and Pluto was being written at the same time. Like they're both
Yeah.
just in 2003. So how Urasawa managed to do that, I don't know.
I mean,
But
he's
like
definitely one that's like I feel like he is Urasawa's a manga artist that's very much aware of what happens in the world, is very much
he's got his
interested in
finger on
world
the pulse.
politics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not usual, I think, for a lot of manga artists. A lot of manga artists don't base their story in other countries for sure. And actually, I'd love to read like a biography of Urasawa because there's no way he hasn't
Oh,
spent
for
time
sure.
in
Yeah.
Germany. Like, I want to know where he's traveled. Like, did he study abroad? Like, I'm very curious about that.
I mean, yeah, like everything that he goes over with just like what was current events in Germany at the time that Monster was taking place. Like especially with like the Turkish people that were in Germany at the time, like I don't know, like
Yeah.
it goes too deep for somebody that just has like they just think that Germany's like a cool backdrop for the story,
Yeah.
you know. Like it's got a lot more going on than that, but this is
Yeah.
definitely like very very much the same thing. But like everything with like the independent like weapons inspection team that went in before the invasion happened,
Yeah.
the deposing of the dictator, like it like everything felt exactly the same.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and even like the way he illustrates people too, there's no way that's not a heavy Western influence because he's so good at drawing
Yeah, yeah,
Western people and bodies, like the faces and
yeah, like
noses.
it does not look like you would expect like anime and manga to look
No,
like.
no, not at all. And again, I wish I had physical copies I could show you. I love Estor.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we talked about it. We
So
both
good.
loved
Yeah, I love it.
it.
It's like Naoki Urasawa beats Hayao Miyazaki for
Yes,
me.
yeah, it feels very Ghibli.
Yeah, especially with like the planes. I was like, that is a Miyazaki kind of book. I love it. It definitely has a lighter feel than this.
I need to pick up those physicals. Those are because those
I
are
do
the
too.
like the bigger volumes too, right?
Yeah, they're pretty
I
big.
need to get those.
I need to pick up all of them because I have Monster, but I don't have all the other ones. I'm starting my manga collection. We're getting there.
I've got. I mean, yeah. Like there's this is an old picture of my um of my living room, but there's more manga on the shelf now. I picked up. Let's see. So what are we missing here? I've got Chainsaw Man is missing.
Yay!
Demon Slayer is missing. I'm like halfway through that.
Oh, you should cosplay
That's
from
been great.
Chainsaw Man.
I who
Oh man, because I
I
think
love
you
them
would be a good
all.
Denji, but also you'd be a good. What's his name?
Aki, yeah,
Yeah,
with his stupid ponytail. I hate it.
it's
He looks
such a
so good.
stupid
He looks
ponytail.
so good with his hair down, and then they
I
put
know,
it up in that stupid ponytail. It's fine. I love
but
him.
I think that's what works for
Yeah,
works for that manga. Everybody's kind of stupid in their own way.
everybody's extremely stupid. I've been
Yeah.
seeing a lot of fan art that makes me so happy with that. There was like, there was one that was like, "Do you prefer to eat your concrete wet or dry aged?"
Lord,
With just Power and Denji just eating concrete. It's fine.
of
They love it.
course, I love them. So good. Okay, there's so
We
many things to
we
talk
got off
about.
track.
This is hard because like I love these books so much, but there's so much that happens that it is difficult to like really
Yeah. So
talk about in a way that's
do you want
totally
to talk
interesting for people.
about Pluto the character?
Let's talk about it. That's a
So
difficult one to.
yeah, it's God, it's just so it feels so bad, and like and you see these stories happen a lot when war breaks out. But so he's another super advanced robot, just like Gesicht or any of
Mhm.
these other heroes in the manga, just going to college to learn how to make plants that can grow in harsh desert environments. He just wants to have his country thrive.
Yeah.
That's all he wants. And then war breaks out, and the doctor that built him puts his super advanced AI into a giant killer robot body, and you feel horrible about it.
Yeah, because he had a life. He had people that loved him. Like he
Mm-hmm.
had something there, and then his the person that created him slash his father
Mm-hmm.
figure, right, was like, no, I need you to do this. You're going to be this now, and decided that for him. So even though he's doing these things, even though he's fighting, even though he has been tasked to like kill, as we found, kill these big robots, he's just sad, and he's like, please kill me. He doesn't want to be in this. He can't even be in his own body. He has to exist in other bodies and in like this big scary one, and he doesn't really want to do this, but he's stuck. He needs empathy. He needs love. He's like someone to understand the trauma he's gone through, which is such a like common story to be like, well, I had a life, but I had to be tasked to be this soldier, and now I don't know how to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be back what I was, but I don't know how to be there.
Well, I mean, and at this point, he can't. Like,
Yeah,
he's just too far gone.
yeah,
He's just been living in hate for what, like 7 years at this
yeah,
point.
yeah.
Like it sucks. Like you want there to be a peaceful resolution, but it, like, at that point you can't.
No. Well, then you have this other thing where the person that created him, right, isn't existing either. You have this robot who thinks that he is his father. He is
Yeah,
Pluto's
that.
father. He created him, but actually, he is also a robot. He's
Yeah,
just
the other
masquerading
character
as
that
this man.
Gesick just couldn't tell if it was human or robot, and he believes without a shadow of a doubt that he
Yeah,
is human. And then he gets the news broken to him like in the like second from last chapter, and he just can't take it.
yeah. Which is so insightful too, because you have this like, there's just levels. There's so many levels to this because you also have like at the core of this is also not just the person that created that robot as well, the scientist that he thinks he is, but you also have Dr. Tenma who created Adam, who created like I think was a great robot, but whose AI, whose advanced AI was used to create these other things, and he doesn't really take responsibility for that either. So
And
really, he's
he
also
was
at fault.
yeah he but and like he worked directly with the doctor that created
Yeah,
Pluto to get that as far as it had gotten before the original doctor, when he was still human,
yeah.
had died, and then was just like, war's too bad, I gotta go.
Wait, he's like, it's not my fault if somebody uses my AI to do this.
Yeah, right.
It's not my fault if somebody uses my work. Like I created it. Like if they want to do that, like that's not on me. And I'm like, oh my gosh. There's like all
But
these layers.
also,
Like
like,
who's at fault? Who's the
he did know
problem?
what was being worked on, though.
Yeah,
And he
did
was like,
nothing.
yeah, I think you could probably make some advancements with this. Just, I'll see how it goes. Like, he's only interested in seeing, what results can come out of his zany antics, and not
Mhm.
not caring at all about the consequences.
No. But then you also have it at his core, in the same thing with Astro Boy, where he created this robot because his
Hmm.
son died.
Yeah, like he's just stricken with grief, so he's just completely caught up with
Yeah.
his work.
Oh, it's
It's
layers and
like
layers and layers and layers.
everybody is just like thoroughly messed up. They have
Absolutely.
too much stuff to work with.
But I mean, just it's so beautiful. And luckily, even though we're spoiling things, it's not gonna I promise you, when you read this, it's
This is
we
this
I,
is like
it would
less
take
than
me
a cliff
days.
notes.
It would take me days to go through all of this and how it all turns out. Because it's really, even though it's a story about robots, it's really a story about like humans and perseverance and trauma and how one goes through it. And like there's a story, I think some people would look at like soldiers from war probably and see them as robots, to see them as just trained to do what they're gonna do. And I think this is a good like metaphor for that situation. Because even though they've been like trained to do this one thing and they've been seen to be this one thing, they are still dealing with the trauma no matter what they do after when they come back.
And so, like, I think that, part of talking about how great Urasawa is the whole war plot was absent. It was
Yeah.
not in the Astro Boy chapter at all. So this is something that he had just cut from whole cloth. Like he wrote all of this on his own to give these characters a deeper backstory and make it a lot more
This is
relatable.
beautiful. Chef's kiss was perfect.
Yeah, like it's the I think like the best thing that he could have inserted into this to give these
Oh
characters
yeah.
that much more to work off of.
I do not know if there'll be more deluxe edition of these. It would make sense. I think if the TV show is popular, I could see that happening. I don't know any word of that being the case right now, but I would love to see some 2-in-1s for Pluto.
Yeah, I mean they'd only have to make 4, so
Yeah, which I mean,
yeah. And I'm a sucker for anything that's scaled up from the original print,
oh
just so
yeah,
I can see more of that gorgeous artwork.
oh absolutely, because like the 20th Century Boys Perfect Edition,
Hmm.
you have the Monster Deluxes, like absolutely, it's worth it.
I mean,
Especially
like
when you get those
I'm.
nice color pages in there from Pluto.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
oh,
great. I so
beautiful.
when I was reading the the scans of the Pluto, there were still quite a few color pages that had been thrown through there, and I think that that's from like the original run, so they weren't taking those out of like the Tankobon volumes. It was just like they had found the original printings and
Yeah,
you know upscaled them, translated everything from there.
yeah. I also read the scans, but
It's
it's one of those
good.
situations that the minute I am able to purchase, I will.
Hmm. I mean, yeah,
Uh,
like I'm a try it before you buy it type of guy, and I absolutely love this, and like
oh
I
yeah,
mean
yeah.
I've bought like everything that I've read prior to this, so
I mean,
it's just all good.
he's the best.
Yeah, like he simply cannot miss.
No, I haven't read anything by him I did not like. There's things I was like lukewarm on, like Muji Inushi I thought was fine, but like
I don't know about that one yet. We'll get there.
it was fine. Um, but I mean, as far as like long, anytime he's given the opportunity to write something long that you're really gonna have like some guesses in, are perfect. He knows how to world build. There's not many creators, and not just manga artists and writers, but just like writers in general
Yeah,
that know how to tease out a mystery, that know how to tease out the reveals. He does it well every time, and he gets me every time. It
yeah,
is
like
so hard to guess, and I love guessing an ending.
I don't feel like I figure something out in any of his stories until the exact moment that I'm supposed to.
Oh yeah, no. Like Monster, I had no idea. In 20th Century Boy, how would
And
you
like
ever know?
after I had gotten to that, we still need to talk about that with Kristen, but
Yeah, I know.
like
I just gotta
so
finish.
like when the reveal happens, I like went back through the volumes and I was like, it all makes sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because it all pieces together, and
Hmm.
then you watch the movie and you're like, it's different again. This is great.
I need
So
to watch
I
those.
hope
I need to watch
it'd be
those.
interesting if Pluto switches it all or it doesn't. I
Oh,
guess it's neat too.
that'd be
20th
something.
Century Boys makes sense because you have a lot of players that could be
Oh yeah,
friends,
yeah, easily.
but it makes less sense to do that for Pluto. Uh, I have not read Master Keaton because I don't think can you even buy Master Keaton in the States? I don't think you can.
I don't know.
I think
That's one
I,
that I feel like I've heard name dropped about, but like I don't know anything about
yeah, I don't even know if that's a thing I can buy.
it.
Oh, never mind. I guess people have sold them. It's like 12 volumes.
That's not too bad.
That's not too bad. Is there an anime? What is this? There's a DVD from. Well, I'll
Is
look
it like
into it.
bootlegged?
Probably. I don't know
That's
anything
fine.
about it actually.
Hey,
So, but yeah, because I still have that, and then like I haven't read Billy Bat. People talk about Billy Bat.
hmm, I've never
Uh,
even heard of that.
Lots of times people tear out pair of pages out of manga and sell them for resale. It's wild. That's weird. I did tear a page out of manga when I was a kid for like collages for my Sailor Moon
Oh,
ones, and I regret it every day.
if I don't know, like if I did that, I'd probably have to buy like another copy of it.
Yeah. Well,
I
now I'm
don't
an
think
adult.
I
I'm like,
could.
okay, I've got to buy the Sailor Moon Perfect Edition because I tore out my original run, my
Yeah.
original Tokyo Pop run, right?
That's hard.
Well, we have 10 minutes left, so we can go ahead and give our rating and then just chill.
Whew. It's
I know
uh it's
mine.
it's a must read for me. Like
Yeah.
not only is it, just a nice short, quick, easy one to get through, but it's just just a crazy ride the whole way through, and I was not disappointed by a single plot beat, and there's like it's all meat. Like I don't
Yeah.
feel like any part of that could have been cut out to even, streamline it further.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 10 out of 10 for me. No question. Second time reading is still 10 out of 10. I mean, you can't go wrong with Naoki Urasawa. You can't. And if you haven't read manga yet, but you're considering it, I think any Naoki Urasawa series is a good jumping on point.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're so grounded. Like it's not any of these, like, even though this is about like just a bunch of androids, it is just a very human story. Everything
Yeah.
is relatable. You know what kinds of people all of these characters are because you've met them in your life.
Oh yeah. What about some recommendations? Just like in general? Because I can give manga recommendations. What are you reading lately,
I
Alex?
so I am going through Demon Slayer right now.
Yeah.
I am like just past where it's airing right now.
Okay.
It's been great. The anime kind of suffers from the pacing of the manga because it's not like, I don't know, like it's not really dragged out like I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of a lot of shonen stuff is. So they the seasons kind of feel a little uneven with
Okay.
where the events are. But the anime adds just some glorious scenes of beheadings. So if you're there for that, then just go with
Yeah.
the anime. But the manga's been great. Same level.
Yeah. I haven't read or watched Demon Slayer, surprisingly.
I mean, I don't know if I could say that it necessarily like lives up to the hype, but
Yeah.
um like as a shonen, it's I feel like it's a lot more brisk. It's like
Yeah.
it's not quite the level of like peak shonen that like Jujutsu Kaisen is,
Ah, the
but
best.
that's a high bar for me. Um
Yeah.
I'm going through that currently. I think I've just finished reading what's going to be in this upcoming season.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm only watching Jujutsu Kaisen because I want it to feel fresh as I'm watching. Uh, and that's hard because I really do want to read all of it. But to me, that's like the pinnacle of shonen right now for
I
me, as
I
far
think
as
so. I
modern
think
stuff.
so.
Because I think it really transcends like a lot of the tropes that you see in shonen. And I
Yeah.
think too also I think Chainsaw Man does that as well. But I
Yes,
think
I
Jujutsu
agree. Yeah,
Kaisen
yeah.
definitely. Because I think all the characters don't exactly act how you would expect they would in a shonen, and it feels really genuine.
Yeah, and the women are also characters
Oh,
in
they're real
Jujutsu
characters.
Kaisen, unlike a lot of other
Like
shonen.
the girl in the group isn't just a girl in a group. It's crazy.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I recommend Jujutsu Kaisen like
Yeah.
top level. Chainsaw Man, I'm keeping up with as those chapters are coming out. New stuff has been absolutely killer. Can't wait to see where it goes. If you are like just getting into manga, if you can deal with like violent stuff, I think that is a great place to start. Short and sweet. It's like 11 volumes. That's just a quick breeze to read through. A lot of great action scenes. But the characters are the heart of it. Like anytime things settle down and you just get to like hang out with the characters as they're just like living in their apartment. It's
That's the
like the best
best.
stuff. Like I would read like 100 more chapters of them just hanging out.
I hard agree for any show. Uh finishing up Vagabond and Sunken Rock. Going to start Believe the Immortal. Nice. I need to watch or read Vagabond. It's on the list. I'm saving to watch with my husband because he loves Vikings. So I know I want to watch that with him.
Vagabond has the big collected volumes too. I think like the Berserks do.
Yeah,
So those ones I'll probably check out. Way the House Husband's great.
it's perfect. It's perfect.
I'm really glad also that the Netflix I mean Netflix didn't make it, but you know it was on Netflix
Yeah,
in the States. The adaptation that they made was it was just like a motion comic. It wasn't like
it's so
a
fun.
full anime adaptation. And I think that's the way that they should have done it, you know.
It made
Because
it funnier.
it's yeah, like it's just really good gags the whole way through.
Yeah, I feel like watching that is like playing Yakuza.
Yeah, it's like the side stories in Yakuza
Yeah,
that you get to like, you know, come across several times throughout the playthrough, and like every time the characters show up, you're like, yeah, it's this guy
yeah,
again.
we're back doing something really stupid. That's
hmm
great. Oh, Vinland Saga. That's what I meant. Vinland Saga, not Vagabond. But
Oh,
I've heard good things about
that's
Vagabond.
so I wasn't crazy about the anime. I know a lot of people are, but they like because they the way that they've structured the anime, it's like the like second or third arc is first because it's like
Yeah,
chronologically the first thing,
yeah.
and I don't think that that works as well as how they have it in the manga, but still good, still great. Both
Uh,
sides are good.
real quick, I love GTO with
hmm
every fiber of my being.
That
Um,
that was one of the first like manga that I actually got to read.
good choice. We have a cell from that downstairs. Elliot showed it to me. I was watching it while we were in Japan as well. Like I was in the hospital, we had downtime. So I was like watching before we left. I was watching it while we were there when we got back.
It's so good.
And now when I hear the theme, I just they hear like doo doo by Lark and Seal, I just lose it.
That's it.
I
That's all
haven't
you
tried the
need.
Viz manga app yet. I need to because I have the Shonen Jump one and I haven't gone in to like compare Kodansha's and Viz's to see. Um
So I think that I saw like a lot of memes when they announced the pricing for it, because they were like, so with the Viz app, you pay this much and you get everything. With this
yeah.
app for manga, you play like 40 hours of their partner game, and then you get to read 5.5 chapters.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So I wonder if I guess like maybe it was like a microtransaction thing where you think you can read some, but then you have to pay
Yeah,
individually. I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
that's really that I was
It's
trying to
so
do.
scummy. It's
I was
so
like, I will
scummy.
gladly pay $10, $15 a month for like
hmm
full access to
Oh yeah,
not have
yeah.
to
If you
read.
just get everything.
Yeah. So I'll probably will check out Business because I've had a good time with. I've been subscribed to Shonen Jump app for like years now. That's so worth it.
So
Like
then what does that get you like on top of that? So it's like the shonen stuff and then the shooujo stuff? Like I
I
don't know what
guess
else falls under
so.
the
I
Viz
haven't a chance
label.
to like look at it because like Viz announced it as like a gotcha to Kodansha when they
Mm.
like announced theirs. So basically, it's like whatever else Viz has access to in addition to the Shonen Jump stuff. So like I've been doing the Shonen Jump stuff, which is just the Shonen stuff,
Yeah.
and I liked it well enough. So I haven't had a chance to open up the other one.
I don't know. That's
Uh,
like a lot of the stuff that I have is just like from their lines.
just makes it
They
easy.
localize a lot of stuff, so you know,
I
just a convenience.
Yeah, because I buy a lot of like shojo or just like weird stuff at the like Barnes and Noble and stuff
hmm
now. I like a lot of like I guess cozy fantasy books like slice of life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I really want to read the rest of like Delicious Dungeon or whatever because I really like that, like the Gun
Oh
Dungeon
yeah,
Jump stuff.
yeah. That's getting a who's Studio Triggers doing the adaptation of
Yeah,
that? Yeah, so that's exciting.
it's really comfy. You'd like as an MMO
I'm
fan.
looking forward to it a lot.
I've been to Japan. Have you?
No,
You should go.
it's on the docket, but
You
you
can just
know.
talk to me. I'll arrange.
I
I'm
know. Yeah,
arranging
I
Omar's
was gonna
trip.
say you'll have to come with me because I don't have a
I
translator and
will
I don't
gladly
speak it.
translate.
Yeah.
I forgot all about Onizuka Sensei.
hmm
I've been reading through Dead Demons Dead Destruction.
Okay.
Oh, by Asano. I have mixed feelings about Asano. If I'm thinking that who that is correctly.
Here's the Google search.
Yeah, because they did oh gosh. Yasumi Pun A Good Night Poon Poon. And I
Okay.
liked that, but I feel like I read something else by
I
him
know the name.
that really didn't rub me the right way. I'm not sure. Oh, I don't have a Kinokuniya.
Nope.
That's like
No,
I don't
we
have
have
that.
like a Barnes and Noble that's struggling to stay open, and that's about it.
Yeah, we have. I've just got like regular bookstores. Shonen Jump and Viz Manga are two different apps. Some of the series of Viz Manga are like Rama, Case Closed, Mao, Komi Can't Communicate. Oh, I love Komi Can't Communicate. Magi.
Comey's great.
I love the man. Oh, The anime for Komi Can't Communicate?
So good. The I like so as much as I'm just like a sucker for like good action anime, I am always trying to find like the current just like chill slice of life, like just something to just like not have to worry about like
Yeah.
maybe my favorite character is going to die next week, you know? So like I don't know, Kate and I watched a few of those last year,
Yeah.
and what's the one where they're like office workers and they're just huge weebs is
Oh, what's it called?
like yeah, yep.
Oh,
That was like
yeah.
I need more of that like yesterday. That was just the best thing that I think
Now
I
I
could have
really
watched.
need tell Kate to cosplay Komi.
She wants you to cosplay Comey.
Yeah.
Comey can't communicate.
I haven't seen that one.
We'll watch
It's so good.
it.
Oh man.
What else they got?
Shaberimasu. Gateway manga / anime. I don't. You mean like
That's a whole can of worms.
that's a whole kind of. I can think about what got me into it, but I think that was like a calling from birth because it was like Ghibli movies and like Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
But
Like I was definitely raised on it, so like I was
yeah,
already just ready to go. Like I think like before I had actually just gone and picked up like, manga of so like one of my friends in grade school did have the like Dragon Ball manga when
oh
that was
yeah,
like brand new. And that was like, I was huge into that, but I was also just like it's just comics. But like so I think like on a whim I picked up just like a volume of Shonen Jump, and it was
yeah.
a it was
Oh
it was
yeah,
like fairly early. I think it was like I don't know, like volume 12. I wonder if my
yeah.
parents still have any of those. Whatever. But like from there I was reading their stuff like month to month, and then um I like they would have not like the main running stuff, but they would have previews of stuff every now and again, and that was where I got to
Yeah.
read like Claymore the first time. uh Huge into that. um but like I don't know, getting a nice little like it's like when you got like a PlayStation demo disc. It's like that. Just pick up
Oh
a volume
yeah.
of Shonen Jump, see where it takes
I
you.
I miss that so much. When I was really into Shoujo Beat because they also give
Hmm.
like little fashion advice and they'd recommend like because they had access to like light novels and like live action movies as well,
Mm.
which was great. But my parents unknowingly would buy me a lot of Love Hina when I was a
Little
child.
risque.
A little risque. I don't know how I got away with that.
My local library had that just in the manga section. I just got to just read that. So
I
that
guess
was
there's no details on the boobs. So like
must not have gotten the memo about that.
I don't
So
know,
that
but
was
they
that was
also
the
bought me a
starter one
lot
for
of
me, but I was probably too young to be reading that.
it was a different world then because no one knew. So it was like, oh, it's just
Yeah.
cartoons, it's fine.
You're
So
right.
like,
Yeah, they were like, it's just comic books. It's for kids.
oh
It's
yeah, I
fine.
remember checking out Perfect Blue from the library.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. And like my favorite movie, Wrath of the Ninja, I got when I was very young. And there's nudity and beheading and everything because it's same people
Hmm.
did Ninja Scroll. Like, and all of my stuff that I watched was like incredibly pervy because like it's pervy now, sure, but like the the fan service and like I
It
learned a
gets
lot
out of
about how
hand.
bodies work from stuff like
That's a
Double
way
Header
to put it.
because I was like, what is that? I learned a lot about how bodies work. No one no one stopped me. Blockbuster doesn't tell you they don't stop you back then. Renting
I
VHS
yeah.
of like 2 episodes of a show.
Um God, yeah, like so what's some of the first like I don't know. Like so I saw like a lot of Ghibli stuff when I was like
Yeah.
very young, like in like preschool and like kindergarten. Um Loved that, and
Oh, yeah.
that was formative to me. But like I think the first like anime that I actually like sought out, like I saw it at a Blockbuster and I was like, this looks awesome. I need to
Yeah.
watch that. And it wasn't just something that I had seen on like Toonami, because Gundam and Sailor Moon and
Yeah.
like Dragon Ball, like that was all just huge for me when I was in elementary school. But then in like middle school, I saw Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust at a
Yeah, you
Blockbuster,
did.
and I was just like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And it
Oh,
it
yeah.
like we watched that like last year or the year before,
Yeah.
and it holds up so well.
Yeah.
That is a masterpiece.
Good.
Like if you're into like if like if you're like, oh, I don't know, if I'm gonna start watching anime or anything, and you're like, I love Blade.
Well, let me tell you.
Here's one of the coolest things you'll ever see.
Okay, so Jack's Gateway Anime, Gachamon, nice.
Oh
Gateway
yeah, Lone
Manga,
Wolf and
Lone
Cub
Wolf and
is
Cub.
super good.
For that being your gateway manga, that's a highbrow.
It's just
That's big
such good
brain.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, mine was just Slayers and stuff like that.
yeah. I had been given like volume 1 of Berserk at like, I don't know, like age 12, and I was like, I don't really like this that much. And then like after watching the anime adaptation from 97,
Ooh, yeah.
that was like what actually like got me into it, because like
Yeah.
the Dark Swordsman arc is just not great. But like the later stuff that Miura puts in there is just like Golden Age arc is never not going to be like one of the best pieces of fiction that I think I've seen, consumed,
Yeah.
read. It's just so good.
Well, we're getting about time, so I'm gonna wrap it up because I gotta go watch Ted Lasso before I go to bed for work tomorrow. Alex, this was really great. I love it. I missed you a lot. So this was lovely. I just did an excuse to hang out, really.
Yeah, anytime.
That's what it is. Well, choose another manga.
Anytime you want to give me some recommendations and
Hell
then
yeah.
say let's talk
Let's
about it.
go.
I'm
Let's go.
always down. It's
Yay.
always good stuff.
Good. Do you want to tell people where they can find you? Because you're streaming again now, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Kind of like, here and there. I'm definitely
Yeah.
not like, I don't know. It all just depends on like how busy work is, how often I can get on there. But yeah, twitch.tv/heckinsleepy, just the same as it is here.
Yeah.
I stream a lot of different stuff. Last stream I did was Armored Core 3. I'm extremely excited for Armored Core 6. I have a hands-on throttle and stick that I'm going to try to mod Armored Core 6 to work with, because I think that would be some sweet immersion. But I think that's going to be a huge pain. But I'm gonna try to do that as soon as I understand how the game works better.
Hell yeah, sweet. Well, watch Alex there. Thank you everybody for watching. I'll be back next week with Omar and Amanda. We're talking about Why the Last Man. So we'll see
exciting.
Yeah. So everybody have a good night, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.